Chukwudi, come and see what your wife calls food. Come and see it. Mama Ejike's voice rang through the compound like a marketplace bell. It was barely 6 in the morning, but already she stood in the corridor, holding a plate of yam porridge like it was evidence in a court case. Her wrapper was tied high above her chest, her face twisted in disgust. Chukwudi rushed out of the bedroom, his singlet hanging loose, sleep still in his eyes. Mama, what is it? Why are you shouting so early? Look at this nonsense your wife cooked. Is this what they taught her in her father's house? To cook porridge that tastes like sand? My son, I have told you, this girl is not the one for you. She cannot cook, she cannot clean properly, and look at how she walks around like she is doing us a favor by being here. Chukwudi collected the plate, tasted the porridge, and kept quiet. His wife Adaeze stood by the kitchen door, her head bowed, her hands clasped in front of her. She had been married for only 6 months, but already her face had lost its brightness. Mama Ejike was not an ordinary woman. In that compound off Aba Road, she was the queen. She had lived there for 35 years, raised 4 children alone after her husband died, and made sure everyone knew she was a woman of substance. Her late husband had been a successful trader before his death, and though the money was no longer flowing as before, Mama Ejike carried herself like she still owned half of Aba. She controlled everything: who swept which part of the compound, who fetched water first in the morning, who attended which meeting, and most especially she controlled her children, particularly her firstborn, Chukwudi. Mama, the food is not that bad, Chukwudi said quietly, still holding the plate. Not that bad, not that bad, Mama Ejike's eyes widened. So now this girl has charmed you completely. You cannot even taste again. You cannot see that this porridge has too much pepper and not enough crayfish. Ah, Chukwudi, what has this girl done to you? Adaeze finally spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. Mama, I am sorry. I will cook another one now. Please, I did not know. You did not know, you did not know, Mama Ejike mimicked her cruelly. Every day it is, I did not know. What did your mother teach you? Did she not teach you how to be a wife? Or were you people just doing shakara in that your father's house, forming fine girl? Mama, please, Adaeze begged, her eyes beginning to water. Please what? My son, I am telling you, send this girl back to her people before she finishes you. Look at her, standing there like a mermaid. In my time, a new wife would be on her knees begging by now, but this one just stands and looks at me with those her yay eyes. Chukwudi finally spoke up, but his voice was weak. Mama, she said she is sorry. Let us just leave it. Leave it, leave it. That is how you will leave it until the day she poisons you with her bad cooking. Me, I have said my own. I am going to the market. Mama Ejike dropped the plate on the ground deliberately. The porridge splashed on the floor. And you, clean this mess properly. I don't want to see one drop of it when I return. She walked away, her slippers making sharp sounds on the concrete floor. Adaeze stood frozen for a moment, then slowly went inside to get a rag. This was not the first time. It was not even the 10th time. Every single day, Mama Ejike found something wrong. The way Adaeze greeted, the way she tied her wrapper, the way she laughed, the way she spoke to the neighbors. Nothing was ever right. Adaeze came from a good family in Umuahia. Her father was a retired teacher, her mother a petty trader. They had raised her well, taught her respect, taught her how to manage a home. But nothing she did satisfied Mama Ejike. In the first month of marriage, Adaeze had tried everything. She woke up at 4 in the morning to sweep the entire compound before Mama Ejike woke up. She cooked elaborate meals, using her own small money to buy the best ingredients. She ran errands without complaining, even when Mama Ejike sent her to 3 different markets in one day to compare prices of tomatoes. But Mama Ejike only grew worse. Why are you sweeping so early? You want to wake everybody with your noise, Abi. You think because you married my son you are now the madam of this compound. Why did you cook this plenty food? Are we hosting a ceremony? You want to finish my son's money, that is your plan. Why are you wearing that dress? Is it not too tight? What are you trying to show people? You think I don't know your type? The other women in the compound watched with pity but said nothing. Mama Ejike was not a woman you challenged. She had disgraced many people before. She could stand in the middle of the compound and destroy your name for 1 hour straight without repeating herself. So they kept quiet and whispered among themselves. That girl is suffering. And what can she do? That Mama Ejike does not want any woman to marry her son. She wants him to herself. I give the marriage 6 months. The girl will run. Adaeze's family came to visit once, but Mama Ejike had been on her best behavior that day. She smiled, she laughed, she even hugged Adaeze's mother and called her my in-law. The moment they left, the torture continued. Things reached a breaking point 3 months later at the women's meeting. All the women in the compound gathered every month to discuss issues, contribute money, and settle disputes. That day, they were planning a birthday party for one of the elderly women. Mama Ejike, the organizing secretary, was collecting contributions. Each person should bring 2,000 naira for the food and drinks. Adaeze reached into her purse and brought out her money quietly. Mama Ejike saw it and stood up. "Excuse me, Mama Ejike, I want to ask a question. Where is this one getting 2,000 naira from? Is she working? Or is it my son's money she wants to use to impress people?" The whole place went silent. Every eye turned to Adaeze. "Mama, it is my own money," Adaeze said softly. "I saved it from the small business I do." "Small business?" Mama Ejike laughed, but there was no humor in it. "What small business? Since you married my son, all I see you do is eat and sleep and waste resources. Now you are forming like you have money. Is it the money my son gives you that you are hiding?" "No, Mama. I sell provisions to some of the women here. Small things." "Provisions?" Mama Ejike's voice rose higher. "So you have time to do business, but you cannot cook proper food for my son? You cannot clean the house properly. You are busy pursuing money like a man instead of facing your home." Mama Ejike tried to intervene. "Mama Ejike, the girl is just trying to contribute. Let us not." "Don't tell me what to do in front of this girl," Mama Ejike snapped. "She is my son's wife. I have every right to correct her. Look at her, sitting there like a queen. In my time, a new wife would not even attend this kind of meeting in her first year. But this one, she wants to start forming like she is an elder." Tears rolled down Adaeze's face. She said nothing. She just sat there while Mama Ejike continued. "You people should be careful of this girl, oh. She is not what you think. All this quietness is just packaging. I know her type. They come into your family, sweet and gentle, then before you know it, they have turned your son against you and taken over everything." The women exchanged glances, but nobody spoke. Some looked down at their laps. Others pretended to check their phones. They had all learned that silence was the safest response to Mama Ejike. When the meeting ended, Adaeze walked home alone, her eyes swollen from crying. By the time she reached the house, Chakwudi was home from work. "What happened?" he asked, seeing her face. "Nothing," she whispered. "Adaeze, tell me what happened." "Your mother at the meeting. She disgraced me in front of everybody." Chakwudi sighed heavily and sat down. He looked tired. "What did you do?" "What did I do?" Adaeze's voice cracked. "I did nothing, Chakwudi. I only wanted to contribute money for the women's meeting, and she said I am wasting your money. She said I am proud. She said I am trying to take over the family. I did nothing." "Just calm down. You know how Mama is. She does not mean it." "She does not mean it? Chakwudi, every day your mother insults me. Every single day. I wake up early, I cook, I clean, I respect her, I do everything, but nothing is ever enough. And you just sit there and tell me to calm down." Chakwudi rubbed his face with both hands. "What do you want me to do? She is my mother. And I am your wife. Don't shout at me, Adaeze. I am tired." Adaeze stared at her husband for a long moment, then turned and walked into the bedroom. She lay on the bed and cried until her body hurt. That night, she prayed like never before. "God, if this marriage is not your will, please show me. I cannot continue like this. I cannot." 2 months later, Adaeze packed her things quietly one afternoon while Mama Ejike was at the market. She left a note for Chakwudi. "I cannot do this anymore. I have tried. God knows I have tried. I am going back to my father's house. If you love me, you will come for me. If you don't, I understand. Greet your mother for me." When Mama Ejike returned and heard the news, she did not look sad. She looked satisfied. I told you that girl was not right for you. Thank God she left on her own. Now we can find you a proper wife, a girl with home training. Chukwudi said nothing. He went to Umuahia twice to beg Adaeze to return, but her father refused to let him see her. You allowed your mother to treat my daughter like a slave, Adaeze's father said. Until you become a man and build your own house away from that woman, my daughter will not return to you. The divorce was quiet. No big ceremony, just papers signed. Chukwudi's family paid back part of the bride price, and that was the end. Mama Ejike began searching for a new wife immediately. She found one within 3 months. Her name was Obiageli, a girl from their village, the daughter of Mama Ejike's distant cousin. This one is proper, Mama Ejike announced proudly. She is from a good family. I know her mother. She will respect me and take care of my son properly. Obiageli was 24 years old, short and plump with a round face and tribal marks on her cheeks. She smiled a lot and said, yes, Mama, to everything. The wedding was small. Chukwudi did not look happy, but he went through with it. His mother had convinced him that Obiageli was exactly what he needed. For the first month, everything seemed perfect. Obiageli woke up early, cooked, cleaned, and never talked back. Mama Ejike was pleased. You see, this is how a wife should behave, not like that useless Adaeze who was always forming. But by the second month, small things began to change. Obiageli started adding too much salt to the soup. The rice was always too soft. The house was not as clean as before. The clothes were not ironed properly. Mama Ejike tried to correct her gently at first. Obiageli, my daughter, you need to put less salt next time. Yes, Mama. Sorry, Mama. But the mistakes continued, and they got worse. One day, Obiageli cooked beans and forgot to add palm oil. Another day, she broke Mama Ejike's favorite plate. Then she lost money Mama Ejike sent her to give someone. Mama Ejike's patience began to wear thin. What is wrong with you? Are you not the same girl who was doing well before? Why are you becoming careless? Sorry, Mama, I will do better. But she did not do better. She got worse, much worse. She stopped waking up early. She started talking back. When Mama Ejike complained about the food, Obiageli would say, Mama, if you don't like it, you can cook yourself. I am tired. The women in the compound could not believe it. This quiet Obiageli has changed. NNE, I told you. The girl was just pretending. Now her true character is coming out. Mama Ejike tried everything. She shouted, she begged, she threatened, but Obiageli seemed immune to it all. And the most painful part was that Chukwudi refused to support his mother this time. Mama, leave her alone. She is trying her best. Best? Is this the best? Chukwudi, have you seen the way this girl talks to me now? She does not respect me at all. Mama, maybe if you stopped criticizing everything she does, she would do better. Mama Ejike's mouth fell open. So now you are supporting her against me, your own mother who suffered to raise you. This continued for months. Obiageli became bolder. She started going out without telling anyone. She spent Chukwudi's money anyhow. She stopped attending the women's meetings. And whenever Mama Ejike tried to correct her, she would simply walk away. I am not Adaeze, she said one day, her voice loud and clear. I am not the one you will treat like a slave. If you try me, I will show you that I am my father's daughter. Mama Ejike could not sleep that night. For the first time in her life, she felt powerless in her own house. This girl she had chosen, this girl she was so sure would be perfect, had turned into a monster. 3 months later, Obiageli moved out of the main house and rented a single room in another part of town. She told Chukwudi to come and visit her there. She refused to cook for Mama Ejike anymore or do any chores in the compound. If your mother wants food, let her cook. If she wants someone to clean, let her clean. Me, I am done. Chukwudi was confused and tired. He divided himself between his mother's house and his wife's room, but he was never at peace in either place. The marriage lasted 1 year before Obiageli left completely. She did not even say goodbye. She just disappeared one day with all her belongings and never came back. Later, they heard she had traveled abroad with another man. Mama Ejike was destroyed. 2 failed marriages in 3 years. The same women who used to fear her now whispered about her behind her back. That woman destroyed those marriages with her own hands. Pride has finished her. Now people are laughing at her. Her son will remain single if she does not change. Chukwudi became withdrawn. He stopped talking much, stopped smiling. He went to work and came back home to sleep. That was all. 1 year passed. Mama Ejike stopped talking about finding him another wife. She stopped attending the women's meetings. She stayed mostly in her room, cooking for herself, eating alone. Then one day, Chukwudi came home with news. "Mama, I have met someone." Mama Ejike looked up from the beans she was picking. "Who?" "Her name is Chioma. She is a nurse. We met at the hospital when I went for a checkup." Mama Ejike's heart sank. "Chukwudi, I don't think." "Mama," Chukwudi interrupted, his voice firm. "I am going to marry her. I am not asking for your permission. I am telling you." It was the first time in his life he had spoken to his mother like that. Mama Ejike wanted to argue, to shout, to refuse, but something in her son's eyes stopped her. He looked tired. He looked like a man who had suffered enough. "When do I meet her?" Mama Ejike asked quietly. "Next week. But Mama, I am warning you now. If you treat this one the way you treated Adaeze and Obiageli, I will move out of this house completely. I will build my own place and you will never see me again. I am not joking." Mama Ejike nodded slowly, her eyes downcast. Chioma came the following Saturday. She was tall and dark-skinned with short natural hair and a warm smile. She wore a simple dress and flat shoes. No makeup, no big jewelry, nothing flashy. She greeted Mama Ejike respectfully, kneeling down completely. "Good afternoon, Mama. My name is Chioma. Thank you for welcoming me to your home." Mama Ejike looked at her carefully, searching for something to criticize, but found nothing. The girl seemed genuinely respectful, genuinely kind. "You are welcome," Mama Ejike said stiffly. "Sit down." They talked for a while. Chioma answered every question with patience and humility. She did not try to impress anyone. She did not try to defend herself. She simply was herself. As she was leaving, she turned to Mama Ejike and said something that struck deep. "Mama, I know your son has been married twice before. I know things did not work out. I want you to know that I am not here to fight you or compete with you. I am here to take care of your son and to respect you as my mother. If I do anything wrong, please tell me. I am still learning." Mama Ejike said nothing. She just nodded. After Chioma left, Chukwudi looked at his mother. "That is the woman I am going to marry, Mama, with or without your blessing." The wedding was planned for 3 months later. Mama Ejike did not interfere. She attended the meetings, contributed money, and kept quiet. The women in the compound were shocked. Mama Ejike has changed. Marriage don deal with her finish. She don learn her lesson. On the wedding day, Mama Ejike watched her son marry Chioma in a simple court ceremony followed by a small reception. Chioma looked beautiful in her white dress, but what struck Mama Ejike most was how happy Chukwudi looked. She had not seen him smile like that in years. When Chioma moved into the house, Mama Ejike braced herself for trouble. She waited for the girl to show her true colors